enough. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Really? 3 pieces. 3 from 3 people I have never met in my life. From 3 publications that are supposed to be about uplifting black people, which is all I have dedicated my life to doing. Shit! What hubris do I have? You people literally cannot stand that someone has studied and is speaking on what they study, that someone has read and is speaking on what they read. You can't stand that someone loves us, that someone loves us so much that their passion is so exemplary and is exuding through the phone that it touches people who literally have never felt love that much and they don't know how to process it. That's what you're feeling. I want to send all the love to everyone who has shown me love. But you people who are continuing to attempt to break me down, you will not break me. You cannot break me. I am loved. I am anointed. I am touched. I am working through the blood of our ancestors. You will not break me. And it is so sad that you are so broken that this is the effort that you would take to try and get some clout. And you know what? Let's say I did get broken. Y'all will be the first ones to be like, see, y'all be doing too much. Mm-hmm. No. Big up to all my strong black women who are supporting other strong black women and supporting us. We love you. The rest of y'all can suck up.
Period.
So I was watching this. I was Amanda Seals, if y'all couldn't recognize by the voice. She was getting mad because the griot, I think it was called.
There are multiple articles that came out that said that, oh, she's too difficult and blah, 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 and her content. She put out a video saying that, like, she's never invited to things. You know, like, she was nominated. I don't know which award she was nominated for, but she was nominated for an award and then didn't get invited to the show.
I think it was the NAACP.
Yeah, something like that. So she complained about that. There were a couple articles that came out, and then this was her reply to all of the articles that came out, and I don't disagree with her.
Did you read any of the articles?
No, I didn't read any of the articles.
So I read
They're all op-eds.
The griot, yeah. I read it was the griot. Like I said, the title of it was Amanda Seals is not a victim. If anything, she's a victim of her own hubris. So basically the main thing that kind of went on was like it spotlight that she does do a lot of discussions when it comes like, you know, white supremacy and things of that nature. But what at least this article was doing was highlighting like her lack of self-awareness. Mm-hmm. Cause like basically like one of the convos that she pointed out was like, she was like, oh, if you don't have a passport, you're a loser. And when folks got on her about it, she kept trying to like double down on it. Basically trying to say like, oh, I'm not talking about people who just buy a single Nike suit. I'm talking about people who are buying multiple Nikes and Jordans. You need to get a passport. And if you don't have a credit card, you're a loser. And if you don't, you know, like she was basically doing shit like that. And it was like the lady here, she had basically said she had spoke a lot about, you know, the predatory tactics of credit cards and things of that nature. She was just saying like overall though, like Amanda just lacks self-awareness. And that's why people don't like being around her. Like she doesn't see how she comes off as very, I don't know the word she said. Let me just read the last little article or the last sentence or the last paragraph.
I've never been around her. I just listen to her content sometimes, so I couldn't tell you anything about that. But I'm interested. But she also said that I think that's why she highlighted that all 3 of these articles are from people who she's never met personally in her life. So if they are about like how people feel around her, then they don't have their own first person experiences to
basically this the last couple paragraphs. She said what also comes along with a large platform is recognizing that not everyone is going to agree with you, and instead of trying to play victim when this happens, take an opportunity to clarify or course correct would be a better option. But ego is hell of a drug, and ego is where Amanda Seals is stuck. Amanda Seals is not a victim of anything but her own hubris, and until she recognizes that, she will always be crying every time anyone says anything about her. So I think she's just saying like a lot of the criticisms about her are coming from the fact that she just lacks a level of self-awareness when it comes to the people and the things that she said around her. They even noted like Insecure. There was a lot of people saying they didn't like hanging out with her or being around her after work and stuff like that. And I mean, the thing about here, and I can just tell this person has an agenda when writing this, the biggest thing is the fact that she lied on that black man. She said that there was a black man who was assaulting women or like basically making women uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. She doxed them. She put his picture out. I think it was a doctor and shit. And they come to find out like none of it was true. and like she barely apologized about it. And I think to me, that's where a lot of people like they put their bones into. That's why I don't rock with Amanda Seales. This article looks like it has, like I said, its agenda with this person when they talk about certain things. But they didn't bring that up, and I think a lot of folks
that would have been something solid to bring up. I don't think she would have been able to refute that.
Yeah, that's the big thing where a lot of people who have an issue with her, that's where they really can, sink their teeth in, because that shit was messed up. She didn't even really try to apologize for that after she did that. And that man, like, he lost a little bit of business in regards to that. People were, they looked at that dude a different way. Some people still think he did it, even though most of the information came out and cleared his name. Another thing, too, is that she has sided with Sean King when they was talking about Tamir Rice's mom.
She's dragged Sean King on several occasions,
but
I feel like.
The instance that she put out was when they were talking about the activists, and she was basically saying she had an issue with like people trying to make money off her son, Tamir Rice's mama.
Yeah.
And she had spoke out and basically put the eye on Sean King, and basically Amanda was like, oh, we shouldn't just be focusing on one individual, and like this isn't, this calling out isn't going to do anything to help things move forward. But it was like, nah, this is the nigga that's trying to, cash in on my son's death. I'm not trying to let that shit ride.
No.
So I think that was another part too where she rubbed people the wrong way. And again, that's the lack of self-awareness. So I mean, I thought it was interesting, the article, when I read it. That's what
it was. I didn't know about all that extra stuff that was going on around her.
Yeah, she just doesn't seem. She seems like one of those women. Like I always joke around. I describe with like she reads too much Bell Hooks books. And when you read too much Bell Hook, like you gotta understand, Bell Hook, she's a single, bitter woman. You gonna end up like her. She is.
She's a very intelligent woman and a scholar.
Okay, and you can be bitter,
and a womanist icon.
Just like a man can have a whole bunch of money and be in his tower alone and by himself. Shit, the same thing you could do when you searching all that information and trying to find the reason why
Maybe
the person should be the victim every